Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Kitty G, and I'm back again with another video. The Rangers-Arsenal game finished 2-2, and you guys already know what it is. But let's get this show started on the right track. Bang. Yes, people. So let's get into it. I got Lisa here. I got Gunnar King. I got Aslan, and we're gonna be talking about the fact that we played Rangers in their house, and you know what? It was a tougher game than we expected. We ended up finishing the game 2-2. We got a goal from Nketiah. We got an interesting goal from Nuno Tavares that we're gonna have to discuss also. We seen some mixed performances, some good performances from some of the youngsters, some bad performances from some of the senior players. Overall, I was not impressed with the overall performance. At times, I found that the game was very lethargic, boring, and stressful because it's like, why are they missing easy chances? Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang could have had a hat trick. Emil Smith-Rowe was playing stupendous from the beginning, and then you'd find us in good positions and players would not be able to finish their dinner. Balogun looked like he could have scored a goal if he had his feet sorted out. Pepe, if he was in better position, he could have scored a goal. Reece Nelson had a good game. Willock had a good game. A bunch of guys had a good game. There's a lot of performances that we need to discuss. So let me just introduce everybody that I got today. I got Lisa. Lisa, how you doing?
I'm good. How's everyone doing?
Chilling. Everything over there in Australia. We got Aslan in the chat. Aslan, your boy Nuno Tavares scored a goal, man.
Come on, I've been telling everyone, man. See what I mean? I've been telling everyone to jump on the Tavares bandwagon, man. See? Eagle eye, man. But big up everyone, though. Big up everyone.
And yo, Gunnar Express, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right, let me just move my location. So first things first. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Lineup came out. I seen Balogun starting, and I was like, "Yo, this is a 4-4-2 again," because this made no sense. But then it found out that Balogun was playing on the left. I don't like when players are being played out of position, but for this game, I understood it, and it looked like the first half it was very, very sloppy. We were getting in good positions. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang missing shots. That was the story of the first half. So let's just get straight into it. What did you guys think about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's performance today, and how he could have easily had 4 to 3 goals? I'm gonna start with you, Gunnar Express, because you came on at halftime and you were talking about this.
Yeah, shocking. Not good enough at all. I'm not hearing this, but it's pre-season, the rustiness, I don't care. The guy's been practicing a lot over the holidays. He was in Greece training with an under-18s team. He was in, I think, Gabon or some, I think it was Ghana or something, playing games. So he's been playing football. I'm not hearing these excuses. The guy is finished as a top striker. The sooner we realise this, the sooner we move on, the sooner we progress. Finished. That's it. He's finished. He's finished as a top striker. He's no longer a world-class striker. No, it's facts. He's not. He scored 10 goals in a season ago. That's not world-class striker numbers. No world-class strikers hitting those numbers. I mean, Lewandowski, who's, I think, 1 year older, is hitting 40 goals just in the Bundesliga alone. There's levels to this game. Suarez, who's everyone said was finished, is winning leagues with Atletico Madrid and scoring 20-odd goals. So for me, I said it from 2 years ago. He should never have been given a new contract because the downward spiral that he's going on right now was easily predictable. But sentiment again clouded the minds of just most of the fans, and that's why we are where we are today, because a lot of it is just sentiment based. Again, I appreciate everything he's done for the club. I'm not saying that he's been an awful player. I'm not saying that everything he's ever done should be looked past or anything. But right now, he's not good enough, and he's wearing the number 14 shirt. He's not even half the player Henry was for Arsenal. That's just it. He isn't. So, we need to move on. And he's the captain. And that's one thing that I think a lot of us can agree on, is that he needs to be dropped in that armband. Because that could be a big reason why he's playing so poor. We don't know. But the sooner we give the armband to Tierney, I think the sooner that we get better on the pitch in terms of leadership. Because there's not a leader on the pitch. There really isn't. And we need one. So.
Okay, I'm gonna go to you next, Lisa. Lisa, what do you think of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's first half performance? Because personally, I don't agree fully with Gunnar Express, but I get
Mm.
where he's coming from. I
Yeah.
felt like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang did get in great positions. He had the chance where he stole the ball off the defender, fluffed his lines. He had the header, went wide, and then he had the Smith Rowe, pass it right to his feet, open net. Somehow it went the opposite direction. What do you think about his first half performance?
I think it was disappointing because I do agree with Gunnar Express to an extent where he is a club captain, as much as what people say, like, look, it's pre-season. Just seeing it, it's a bit worrying because that's not his first game, that's his second game. And his movement was really great, but then it's like, as a striker, we need goals. We can't go into the season lacking goals. And what Gunnar Express said that about how he wasn't world class, or all those statements. I think we can never really predict that it would happen like that, because one thing that you could say with Aubameyang, he's been consistent in his whole football career. That one thing he can back on is getting goals left, right, and center, but it's just getting his confidence back up. But then it's like, are we really gonna um, kind of lose goals in order for him to gain his confidence? Because like this season is probably our most important season where we can't want to stuff up in any shape or form. So there are definitely worrying signs, not on just Aubameyang, but just on everyone as a whole.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to you next, Gunnar King, and then Aslan, Willie, everybody, guys. Just go in. Let's just go in circles then. Uh, what do you guys think? I'm gonna go to you, Gunnar King.
Yeah, so I kind of see where Gunnar Express is coming from, but I don't agree with a lot of what he said.
Okay, what
For
don't you
me,
agree
for me, form is temporary, class is permanent, and Aubameyang has had one bad season in his entire career. When you come off the back of that kind of season, your confidence is going to be shot. All footballers feed off confidence, but I can tell you, having played as a striker as well and having watched every or many great strikers, when the confidence isn't there, it's easier to miss those chances. First of all, he's never been a prolific header of the ball. It was an easy header, but I'm not saying that is why I forgive him for missing that chance, but I've never expected Aubameyang. I think him and Lacquer have scored like 9 headers between them in their entire Arsenal career together. Second of all, obviously the comparisons with Lewandowski and Suarez, well, look at the teams that they had around them. You know, you can't just say, well, you know, they were obviously those are two strikers that can create goals out of nothing on their own, but they rely heavily on the service of other players and the confidence and form of other players. I think today what was encouraging is we probably created as much, if not more, chances in that game for Aubameyang than we did in a lot of games that he played in the Premier League last season. I firmly believe if we get the right balance in the chance creation section of our team, mainly with a number 10, that game cried out for a number 10 today. But if we keep creating chances like that for him, his confidence will come back and his form will come back as well. I think it's good. We need to remember what I do agree with what Gunnar Express said. We've got Balogun there. We've got Martinelli there. I think he said it in the space. And look, these are good young and up and coming players where if his form's not there, they're going to play. And that's going to keep him on his toes. And Lacazette's there to do the same as well. So look, he had a bad game, you know, and what we're looking at is the form of last season and saying, here we go again. But we need to remember that his head is probably not in the right place at the moment. And all it's going to take is getting his confidence back to change that.
Okay, Aslan, what do you think about Aubameyang's performance? And are you one of these people? I want to know what your whole stance is on the whole Aubameyang situation. Aslan, you there? Where'd he go? Oh, he cut. Okay, Willie, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. What are you saying on the whole Aubameyang situation?
So with the whole bombing thing from the gentleman who just spoke before me, he said that we need to create chances and that the game was screaming out for number 10. You know, this game, we created a lot of chances. We created at least upward up to 10 chances, 5 clear-cut chances. And for me, Aubameyang just had an off day, you know. When it comes to Aubameyang, I agree with the gentleman as well too. He said that form is temporary, but class is permanent. I agree with that 110%. And right now, for him, his off-the-ball movement was amazing. If you guys actually watch the game and see all his off-the-ball movement, he is the reason why all these chances were able to be created. Which you have to give him props for that, you know. But obviously, he's coming off from a bad season, so his confidence isn't quite up there. But for me itself, I feel like we should stick it out at least one more season and see how it goes, and from there, make the final decision. Personally, myself, I'm a big Aubameyang fan. I absolutely love the guy. Yeah, he did frustrate me last season, but I feel we should at least give him one more season to be able to show who he is. Because in the end of the day, man, he did score back-to-back seasons, 20-plus goals. You know, like this guy is showing us, and he showed us that he can score goals. It's just about having off seasons and stuff like that, and we have to be those people to back our players. That's my biggest thing. Be able to back him. We have to be there with him through the worst, through the bad, and just be able to show him that we support him through it all. You know.
Yo, what's going on with your camera, bro?
My bad.
All right, guys. Before so Nitish is going to be the last one. I just want to have a general discussion and go whichever way you guys want to go. We talk about the goals and anything you wanted to point out. So so that's the next thing. But Nitish, did you want to say anything on Aubameyang, or we pretty much said everything on the live stream between me and you already?
Oh,
okay?
if I'm Aubameyang, I'm calling Gareth Bale. Is it too late to play golf now? It's the way he's playing.
Continue.
Is it cool if I can bring up a topic?
No, one thing.
Go ahead.
Just one thing I just want to add about before I wrap it up, so that people don't think I'm hating or Aubameyang completely. I said it out in a tweet. No matter which game you're playing, if you're missing tap-ins, if you're missing free headers, if you're missing open goals, then there is something wrong with you as a striker. He needs to sort that out. He has some pre-season friendly games still left to do that. Hopefully he can do it. If he can't do it, drop him.
Okay. What about before you go, Willie? From now on, anyone in the chat who says a question that you guys like, point it out so we can discuss it. I was gonna we're not gonna run through the goals. We're just gonna go freestyle, talk about points and things that we thought were interesting. So guys, Lisa, Gunnar King, Gunnar Express, everybody, just think of something that you might want to bring up that we might want to discuss. Willie, you wanted to go first?
Yeah, bro. So 2 big things that I saw this game that really, really impressed me. One of which was Joe Willock. I was one of the guys who honestly, I really slandered him. I really gave him a lot of issues. I talked down on him. I talked bad on him and everything. But today, he played really, really good. Normally, prior to last season, whenever we gave him a shot, he did this thing where he would just consistently run up, or he'd literally be right next to the striker, which in that case was Lacazette, and there was like no midfield outlet, you know? That's what he used to do. But today he was composed. You saw that he stayed in the midfield. You saw he made the runs when he should make the runs, and you saw him stay where he should stay. And I think that for me as well has shown that he's grown as a player, and that he's honestly, like, I would love to keep him at the club now. I feel like he'd be a great asset to the club this season. And the second point would be, how good was Emile Smith-Rowe today, bro? Like, my guy seems to be better than what he was last season, and that honestly makes me so happy. I'm excited to see him this season. He's gonna be great.
I'll go.
Definitely looks like he's improved.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What Willie said is 100%, but my biggest worry is probably the set piece. We had that down last season where it wasn't really our worry, but most of our goals are coming from set piece. And if we're going into the season, it's just going to be like a bigger worry for most of us. So that's one thing that I got out of both of the games I watched.
Okay, so far it's been set pieces, Joe Willock, and what was the other thing you said? Smith-Rowe. I just want to say Smith-Rowe has improved, but he's naturally just going to improve because he's a young player and he has a work ethic to improve himself. And we cannot give this credit to Mikel Arteta specifically. We got to say, you know what, young players are going to improve themselves regardless. Now, moving on to Joe Willock, I think that's a topic we should be discussing more. Joe Willock, guys, what do you think about Joe Willock staying? Because I don't think he's going to get much game time, to be fair.
Well, Igal, I think you'll recall my conversation about him on the stream yesterday with you, with Aslan, where, look, I know he's not the finished article. He's got a lot to develop in his game. And And, you know, I think a lot of the issues that Willie pointed out, I agreed with, like his kind of positional sense and awareness at times wasn't right. But I think what I explained in Aslan's space that I was in just before this, I think the situation that Arsenal were in, like where we are not doing well in the league, where we're not the Arsenal of old, is making us kind of put these exacting standards on all the players, when we should be remembering, look, Balogun missed the chance today, but no one's talking about that because he's a young player and he should be protected from that. And I agree with that fully, you know, but Willock is in that category as well. You know, we should be protecting this guy, you know, like when he's making mistakes, we shouldn't be dwelling and honing in on them in the way that we do. But because Arsenal is where it is, they stand out more. And I maintain, I cannot recall a run of 5 games that he either played or he did, but in the same position. I think he's a good squad player at the moment. A loan might be good for him to go out and get a full season, but what I will say is whether it's a loan to go out for a full season or he stays here, I see him having a future at our club.
Can I ask you guys a quick question?
Go ahead, Willie.
So I actually tweeted this out, and I know it's an unpopular opinion the most, but I would love to have you guys' opinion. So for me, I would love to have Emile Smith-Rowe, and I would love for us to build around him and have Willock as a backup. How do you guys feel about that?
I think that's we were talking about this earlier, just a few minutes ago in the Twitter space. I want to ask everyone's opinions on this before I go, because I feel like mine's a little bit different. Lisa, what do you think about that? Are you there? Lisa? Will?
Yeah, what's up?
Why don't you ask the question in a way where it's yes or no?
I've got a kind of response. This is unpopular, but Smith Rowe is my Arsenal GOAT at the moment. He's like, I know Saka's there, and I know he's my star boy, but Smith Rowe's all-round game and his like tenacity, like what Smith Rowe does is he really takes the scruff of games, and his creativity is something else. Like I've said it for a while. Like I think when I first watched him, it was in a cup game against Blackpool like 3 years ago. I was pitch side, and him and Saka were immense in that game. And Nelson played; he was good in that game as well. I've watched Smith Rowe closely, and I seriously see a lot of Wilshere in him as well. Just the way he plays. Him and Saka are definitely the players to build the team around. And Martinelli, I'd throw in there as well. Above any senior player, those are the 3 players that I think this team needs to be built around.
Okay, so I'm going to ask Lisa and Gunnar Express, what are your takes on this? Because I personally think we still need an attacking midfielder. We cannot depend on just Emile Smith-Rowe and Joe Willock. What do you guys think?
100%. And I just want to say, if you hear a kid laughing in the background, that's just my little brother. So that's why I was on mute. But for me, I 100%, because other than injuries, if our main objective is to get to the top 4, just by the money that's been said around on Arteta himself, the club, that means that we're going to go big to spend big. As much as we have youngsters that are hungry, determined, if you give faith or chance that they're definitely going to play with 100% with their whole heart. But for me, I definitely wouldn't put that much pressure or develop them, or a bit of healthy competition. It's just at the end of the day, Arsenal's going to be winning, because I just want to make on top 4. I don't care who we buy, because I definitely want an attacking midfielder, a goalkeeper, a right back. Those are the positions that I want to be filled, because I just want to make top 4 to get back in that Champions League and build even more. I don't care who you buy on the field or who the other players, if they're competing with each other. It's a healthy competition and everyone's learning from each other. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
People on Twitter, do me a favor, come join us on YouTube. The link is on my Twitter. You should be able to find it, match reactions. But yeah, thank you guys on Twitter. Now, I've seen some people saying Saka as cam. Let's not play players out of position. I'm sorry. Let's not do that. Let's keep players in their positions. Let's not try to move them around too much. Saka does not play as a cam. He's played there a couple times. I get that, but majority he is either a winger on the left or on the right, in my opinion. And we should not be playing him in the cam unless we have no other option. That's the only time I would play him there. Now, when it comes to the question, Willie, are you asking Joe Willock and ESR is the future, or still buy somebody else, but not as like expensive as Madison? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying the first one, Joe Willock and ESR as their new future going forward from here on. That's not buying someone else.
Okay, that's not going to improve us. They can improve as players, but it's not going to improve us to the level where we're going to get back into the top 4 this season. What we need is somebody who is good enough right now, who still has the scope to become even better in a James Maddison. I personally don't like Awar. I didn't want Awar. If we do sign him, though, I'll be shameless and say he's the greatest player since sliced bread. But realistically, we need we don't need a 30-year-old player coming in to play next to Emil Smith Rowe or Joe Willock. We need a James Maddison coming in with the numbers, permanently proven, coming in, raising our levels, and he can play with the versatility to play with Joe Willock or Smith Rowe, depending on what formation we play. So I would rather do that than put all our eggs in Smith Rowe and Joe Willock, because if they underperform, which they will because they're still young, we're gonna be the ones left facing the consequences as fans, because you know what, the board once again are getting away with it, and we're gonna be upset. Will, I get your point, but I want to hear Gunnar express his point on this, because I think he was backing you in the Twitter space earlier. What do you think about this, Gunnar Express?
Well, I agree in a certain extent, to the point where I don't know if Willock's probably the best option to back up. I still don't think Willock's particularly the greatest of players that we have. But what I don't get with people, a lot of Arsenal fans for me just forget how good Smith Rowe actually is and how good he has been. He is the sole player who transferred this team from 15th to where we finished, and how well we finished, if you even want to say how well. It's literally him. It's his creativity, it's his tenacity, it's his ability to pick the ball up and make runs into the box, which no one was doing before he came into the team. And we haven't had a player like that since Martinelli. But obviously, he was injured for a while, and since then he hasn't really been given too many opportunities. For me, Smith Rowe should be starter. I don't want any player to come in and drop him right now except Grealish. He's the only player I'll accept that can come in this team and drop Smith Rowe, and we're not getting him. I don't think Maddison is that much better than Smith Rowe, to the point where he can walk in, drop Smith Rowe to the bench, and make us 20 times better. Because I don't think he's a better player than Smith Rowe, granted, but not £70 million worth of better player. So again, for me, unless you're going to go and get someone like Grealish, or you're going to spend massive money, I just don't see I don't see it. I really don't see it. But I think the best option for me would be to keep Smith Rowe as where he is. Either bring in Maddison and tell him, look, you've got to drop him to the bench. That's it. We're not going to start you every game. You're going to have to drop him. You're going to have to come in and prove why you're better than him. I don't think Maddison will do that. I think he's got a bit of an attitude about him and an ego, and I'm not opposed to an ego like that. But if you're, I'm sorry, you can't just bring in Maddison and just drop Smith Rowe to the bench. I don't see why anyone could do that. Smith Rowe doesn't deserve that treatment. So either bring in Maddison and he has to challenge for that position, which I don't expect. I don't see happening if we sign him. Or you go and get someone young who currently is a little bit worse than Smith Rowe, but who also has potential to be brilliant. Someone like Mohamed Hataran from PSV, or you find players out there that, or even the academy. We've got the likes of Kido Taylor-Hart, Patino. People always talk about. So for me, Smith Rowe should be the main player. The second cam that we bring in, whoever it is, should be the one playing the Carabao Cup, FA Cup early rounds, games against your Brentford, your Norwiches. Whereas Smith Rowe should be the main player in that position, but I don't see. I personally see us going and getting someone like Maddison, and then Smith Rowe will probably be dropped and will probably leave us because his treatment will probably be awful, just like a lot of our young players has been. So it is what it is.
Can I just say one
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
to that?
Guys, this is a discussion, so you guys can jump in wherever you want.
Yeah, my defense of what Willie was saying about ESR and Willock wasn't then for me personally to say we shouldn't bring in someone like Maddison. I see Gunnar Express and other people's concerns that Maddison coming in might mean ESR can't get game time or would get less. But I think what's important to remember with the three players that I named that I think the team should be built around, Martinelli, ESR and Saka, is their age and their development stage at the moment. Then it's what I said with Willock as well, and the exacting standards that we have of young players. They are young players. They are going to make mistakes. The other thing that's important to remember as well is that physically their development needs a degree of protecting, where you can't expect them to play. Saka played 32 games, I think, last season. And obviously it's good to see him getting those game time, that game time, and then playing at a major tournament with England. But this is how he burns out. I mean, if you look at his form in the last 5, maybe 6 games, Saka wasn't really there. And I think the danger with resting our laurels and saying ESR should be our main man is we can go into next season and experience the same issue. So I don't see Maddison coming in as meaning Smith Rowe won't play, because he can also play on the left. And if you look at our options there, if you had Maddison, ESR could equally double up with Martinelli in the left position. He can double up with Maddison in the 10 position. And then, with Willock, he can double up in the 10 or an 8 position. If you've got Partey or Basuma next to a Willock in a more of an advanced 8 role, that way, because they're doubling up in 2 positions, they're still getting a good amount of game time for players at their age. But Maddison is raising the floor of the quality of the attacking midfielders. And also what he's providing to those guys is a bit of a beacon in terms of like a leader, someone that they can look up to, someone that can push them and motivate them to be better, that is giving them experience as well to kind of learn from.
Okay, I was going to just ask you guys, if it's simply down to having a choice of getting a new attacking midfielder in or just going with Smith Rowe and Joe Willock, I don't think anyone here would say to me that it's logical to just go with Joe Willock and Smith Rowe.
I agree.
See, the thing is the entire formation has changed now. He's playing a 4-4-2. This is the same formation that he was playing when Arsenal were defending when they didn't have the ball last season. So if he's playing a 4-4-2, it was going to be probably the partnership of Thomas Partey and Joe Willock in the midfield with ESR and Saka on either side, and Pepe, and I get the feeling Pepe and Lacazette will be the two up front. So that is how it's going to be, and Pepe will be floating around the box while Lacazette will be the central guy. If Saka is not fit at the start, then probably Pepe will be there. Aubameyang and Lacazette will be the two starting up front with 4 at the back. And it will be a 4-4-2 if he's going to continue this formation, because this was the formation when Arsenal didn't have the ball and they were defending last season. They were utilizing this formation. So now he wants to start with the defensive formation, but with the bit more creativity. So I get the feeling both Smith Rowe and Joe Willock will be playing together in the same team. The backup will be, say suppose you want to play some game and Thomas Partey is not, you want to rest him. So El Neni comes in and Joe Willock goes forward. In other cases, if Joe Willock and Partey are playing, Partey will play more like a defensive midfielder and Joe Willock will be the ball carrier forward and transitioning. So I get the feeling if he's continuing with this same formation, which is already he has shown, that is a 4-4-2, both of them are going to be playing. Smith Rowe will probably be on the left-hand side, Saka on the right, Pepe and Lacazette up front, Thomas Partey and Willock in the middle, and the rest at the back. So that is what he's going to probably be playing in the upcoming season. That is what he has shown right now. He has not shown us any signs of a 4-2-3-1 anymore. It seems like a 4-4-2. That is why I don't get the feeling he's signing James Maddison. He's going to sign OR. He's signing OR, who's going to be playing there, and he will become the first choice once he comes into the team ahead of Joe Willock.
Do you guys think this is actually a debate? Because I feel like we're having this conversation right now, but majority of us are still going to prefer getting a new signing in that position. Am I wrong? That's all I'm asking.
I would go with a new player as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's going with a new signing. Okay. So let's go. let's go back to the actual game then, right? So we seen what took place in the game. Balogun, Balogun on the Rangers side scored, right, and on our side, we couldn't get our guys. We couldn't get our guys to finish the dinner. Then Nuno Tavares steps up and scores a really good goal with his right foot. He said he's good at scoring goals with his right foot. A lot of people took it as all things that people say, but you know what? It was a good goal. What do you guys think about Nuno Tavares' goal? What do you guys think about his performance? And you know what? It looks like we might have our left side sorted out.
Yeah. I'll go. I think 100%. I think that when we signed him, I think most of our fans did moan a bit in the sense where what are his activities outside of the field. But for me, at the end of the day, if he's putting that performance or just knocking at the door to Turney saying, hey, if you have a bad game, I'm here. If the coach gives me a chance, I'm going to perform to the point where there's just a healthy competition between the players. Because I think the main thing is throughout the years, our players got really comfortable in the wages that they're in, and they know that there isn't someone on the bench to kind of come and do the job. And mostly our biggest kind of worry from last season is if we had our first 11 there, then there was actually a good matchup where it's like, okay, there's a chance that we could win. But if our main players like Turney or David Luiz or any of them get injured, our build up or the way of play changes, and then we have to kind of shift and rearrange everything. But now that we have a backup that can kind of play at least 60% to what Turney can do and offer, then I'm not complaining any shape or form.
Yeah. Anybody else have anything to say on Nuno Tavares' performance?
Yeah, absolutely. I think. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say I was really impressed with his performance. I was expecting it, to be honest. I've obviously watched him a bit more during the talks where we were looking to sign him. His first goal, I think, was scored with his right foot. I think someone put that in the comment section, and it was an absolute belter. A long range effort. He likes shooting. He's good at crossing, and he can use both his feet as well. So I think the encouraging thing with that is he could easily slot on into the right back position. So I see him very much as cover for both of the fullback areas, and he showed trickery that could even build a case for him being a winger. But look, I thought he played really well today. I heard a lot of people saying stuff about what he gets up to off the pitch. My philosophy is this: if you're not killing someone or doing something that's against the law terribly, then I couldn't care what you kiss or more who you kiss.
How are you just
if you're doing it on the pitch, that's all that matters to me.
1 second. How are you just going to say if you're not killing someone just so casually? Whoa.
Miguel, yeah, sorry to put out there. Apparently, Arteta said on the Rangers, like post-match, that he's moving to a 4-3-3. That he confirmed that himself.
Where? Send me this tweet. What? Arteta confirmed he's going to be playing a 4-3-3?
Yeah.
Okay, send me this.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
So that's it. Joe Willock fits into the team then.
There you go. Yeah. You know, one
and
of those.
And Jose is coming. Madison isn't coming then. As simple as that.
I don't know. I think he's still going to flip between 4-3-3 and 4-2-3-1 as starting positions, depending on positions. I think he won't rest his laurels on one tactical setup. I mean, look what he did against Villarreal, where he ripped everything up and changed it all together. You know, he is a tinkerman by trade, and he'll want to go with 2 or 3 systems that he's able to implement depending on opposition.
You know what's one thing that really impressed me about Tavares was he's really good on the ball. He's got that flair, and one thing that not many people are talking about is Tavernier. He's actually a really good right back, and for Nuno to be able to get in behind him and be able to outmuscle him, and just be able to beat him in a duel, that's big. And I watch a lot of Ligue NOS, the Portuguese league. I watch a lot of that in the Brazilian league, and when he was down there at Benfica, he obviously didn't play as often, but there was a period in time where he's played I know it was almost 10 games as a right back, and at right back he was really good. He's actually very good on both feet. And just like you were saying, Gunnar King, earlier, that he could possibly be a backup to right back, I think that's a good shout as well. But Tavares, he's definitely a great player. He's good on the ball. He's good with his feet. He knows how to cut in. He even knows how to whip in a beautiful ball. We didn't get to see him do that today too much, but I think we have a great talent right here in our hands. And having him as a backup to Tierney, just like you guys said before as well too, being able to have players be able to fight for that one position, I think that's great. But I don't want it to get clouded at the fact that today, the game itself, it was screaming that we need a midfielder. It was screaming that we need a brand new right back. And that itself is something we really have to go into the market and get done ASAP.
Okay.
I don't agree. Just one thing: if we have Callum Chambers there and Tavares as a backup who can play both sides, why do we need another right back?
I just wanna talk about why we need another right back. The reason why we need another right back is because Nicolas Pepe and whoever's playing on the right hand side needs a right back who can actually link up play with them properly. You cannot tell me Callum Chambers, yes, he can link up play, but Cedric cannot pass a simple ball. Today, Cedric was misplacing simple passes forward and backwards. Numerous times we've conceded goals because of Cedric's stupidity. Hector Bellerin, same thing. When it comes down to it, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he's not a right back. Callum Chambers, against certain teams, he can do an amazing job. Against other teams, he can be found out. So we need somebody who has the attacking ability in addition to the defensive capabilities that can play that right back position. I'm okay with Callum Chambers starting first game of the season if it means we still get a right back at some point before the window closes. What about you?
Cedric also had a very awful game. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say Cedric also had a really bad game. The first preseason game, I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce the name. The first team he played, Cedric was misplacing passes left and right. He was giving people a lot of bad balls. He was giving them hospital balls. He was just setting up for disaster. The first game and this game, he wasn't any better himself. When it comes to the whole Chambers situation, I agree with you 110%. He's not realistically his Chambers' main position is between a center back and a defensive midfielder, and for us to put him out there, he could do it, but on a consistent basis, I don't think so, because we saw a couple games last season where he did fall off, he did play a little sloppy, but then again, he also had those games that he did ball out in.
I think fullbacks is one of the most imperative positions to have specialists in. Tavares is someone that can play as a right back, but has played more as a left back. Cedric is someone who probably is better as a right back, but is a utility man for both fullback areas. And I agree with Willie that Chambers, between being a fullback, a centre back, and a centre mid, he's kind of a jack of all trades in those positions, not really a master of one of those positions. And I think when it comes to fullbacks, you need a master of that position. Not just from the perspective of being a fullback, but being a specialist in the side that you're playing as a fullback, a specialist right back, a specialist left back. If you're playing with a wing back system, specialist for those wing back areas on both sides. I hope and I expect us to address that area in the transfer market.
Lisa,
sorry.
I'm still looking for the video because it's apparently on the post match. What's called after the game. So I'm just looking for the video.
Yeah, these guys are actually trying their best to banter us for preseason games. It's actually pathetic. You have Bleacher Report putting out Will Smith Arsenal kit emojis. Not emojis. The picture with Will Smith wearing the Arsenal kit, and they're showing preseason and
the entanglement meme, as I call it.
Yeah, there you go, the entanglement one. So what they're doing, they're literally trying. They're literally trying a thing. Let me show you guys this. They're actually trying How on earth are you bantering us for preseason games? It makes no sense. Like, yes,
You
we
know
lost
what? It's all about
the game.
clicks. It's legit all about clicks. If you talk about Arsenal, as much as people say that no one cares about us, da 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 da. Like, if you say anything about Arsenal, just one thing, our fans would come in to kind of and defend, because at the end of the day, it's preseason. You can't really judge too much. It's more about the fitness or how you want to set up. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. But if you get your fitness and kind of learn from your mistake into the season, that's all you can ask for. Because I know Spurs drew. Who else? That's all I can remember. Like, everyone's playing preseason. Yeah, don't really bank on it to get
Spurs
too.
played a game? I didn't even know.
Yeah,
Pardon?
they drew with
I didn't
later.
even know Spurs played a game.
Yeah.
I mean, Chelsea won 6-1 against Championship side Peterborough, so it doesn't really count for all teams. You know, the good teams are winning, the bad teams are losing and drawing. So,
I mean,
Arsenal hates equal likes, bro. Yeah, it's true.
I
Now,
just want to get my mates sleep, man.
I was just gonna talk about the set pieces, guys, before we go. Set pieces. We got an issue. How is it that we got a set piece coach in and we got worse?
attacks.
No, because our last
Bro.
set piece, yeah, it was really good, but we couldn't actually create anything. So now the new one, I think that's his second training session with the players. So I'm hoping that they need to really work that out pretty quick, because when the season comes, it's already a worrying sight for us. So yeah.
All I'm going
We
to
were-
say is the fact that Partey is taking left-footed free kicks is worrying me, because that free kick today was a left-footed free kick and a right-footed player's taking it. So
No, that was
I don't know
because Pepe was at the receiving end of that tackle. He was the one fouled.
I know, but even in the last game, Partey took a free kick. I know it hit the bar, but Partey can't take free kicks. We've got to stop this. We have free kick takers. We have, obviously, Pepe is a free kick taker. Lacazette can bang a free kick every now and then. Xhaka can take a free kick, but we're putting people like Partey over it. So, I don't blame the set piece coach, because I think Lisa said it. The guy's had like one training session, so we have to see if it gets better from this point forward. But I mean, defending set pieces was shocking today. We just could not defend set pieces.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I'm
were
not-
awful,
I swear to
awful
God.
set pieces today.
Yeah, I'm
if
not
somebody-
complaining.
Can you guys check this out? Man said, do you believe this? It's going to take time for the set piece coach to implement his style to set up goals. No,
It's set pieces. It's not a style. It's just set pieces. It should take about a week. It's not difficult
Nah, it doesn't
to
take.
do set pieces.
It doesn't
Nah.
take that little time. But the
No,
thing
yeah,
is,
it's an over exaggeration, yeah, but it's not long. It's not like months. It's
yeah, but the
a
thing
couple
is,
of
I'm
weeks.
not
It's longer
complaining
than two
about.
sessions, that's for sure.
No,
And
yeah,
he's only
I'm
had
not-
two training sessions,
I agree
yeah.
with that. I agree with that, Gunnar King, 100%.
No, I'm not complaining about Thomas Partey's free kicks. I think his free kicks were good. His shooting is the problem. That is the worst I've seen in quite some
You
time.
can say that. You can
I'm
say
not
that
com-
again.
You got a
I'm
shot
not
on
complaining
target today, man.
A bit of confidence for next season. But I
I
think
mean,
it's a bit
that
harder
free
with
kick in
the
the last
set
game
piece.
as well. Jeez.
Willie,
Yeah.
Close.
how is there two of you?
Man's got hacks, you know.
Willie,
No, I was gonna
you-
say with the set piece, it's a bit difficult when most of like our starters are not there,
Yeah,
or
I'm
the
here, bro.
players that we bring in, and mostly those players that are in the field, they're mostly like bench players. There's only 2 or 3 players that are going to be playing at the start of the season.
Mm.
Wait, is that actually true, Dizzy? Does he actually take free kicks for Ghana?
And Callum Chambers was playing centre back, if I'm not wrong, at that point of time. He's not played centre back for quite some time. And who was the other guy? Even I think Rob Holding was taken off.
Mari was shocking today.
Mari was
really
taken
bad.
off. Well, for the second goal, Pablo Mari was taken off. He wasn't there
Man
on the
said
pitch.
He scores free kicks for Ghana. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't even know he took free kicks for Ghana, but I mean,
I know
I'm
he
going to
did.
doubt Dizzy.
I know he scored some good goals from. He would have had a goal on target today. But yo, guys, it is preseason. We're not overreacting. We're just having a conversation about the game.
Ego. In the group chat just now, I put my boy's tweet about pre-seasons, which if it's possible, if you could clip it and show it to the guys, I think it will be good.
I mean, yeah, go on, sorry.
Well, yeah, I mean, imagine this was pre-season. We lost 1-0 to Peterborough, drew 0-0 with Barnet, and then drew 2-2 against an Austrian team called SC Reitzing, we would be going mental. By the way, that was pre-season too. Yeah, you know, like, look, I'm not saying we're going to do a 2003 and 4 season, but that's a clear example of how pre-season can often, you know, we can look too deeply into it, because you're trying different players, you're playing some fringe players that you want to see if they're good enough, you're playing some fringe players that you want to sell, you're trying to get fitness into other players and minutes of and all of this stuff, you know, like, so it's just important to remember that, look, 2-2 today wasn't good enough. I agree with what Gunnar Express was saying in Aslan's Twitter space. It's not good enough to not be beating Rangers. Did I see improvements from the Hibs game? Yes. Was it good enough that we lost to Hibernian? Absolutely not. But look, my concern is the first game of the season and the 38 games after that. And the cup
who
games.
did Chelsea play? They played a behind closed doors game.
Peterborough, who were in the championship.
They played a behind closed doors game and they won 6-1 against Peterborough, and they're gassing the thing. Guys, relax.
Yeah.
No, I think where most of like
the games that we played are against better opposition than these teams that in this tweet, right?
No, for me, it doesn't like. I think for me, yeah, I think where most of like the fans' frustration, I think, because they're more analyzing the preseason, it's the build up of what has happened before, in the sense where the same players that should have been shipped out are still playing. There hasn't really been like new players that come into the first team to make an impact. I think it's just, we know how Arsenal overall operate. As much as we want to be confident going to next season that, you know what, our objective is to get top 4, it's like we haven't really, or they haven't really seen anything where you're like, yeah, we're going to back the team. We're really confident. It's just because we don't know who our main target is. It's just, everything's just all over the place. And then if like the players mess up or the game's not good enough, it just kind of brings more emotional like fuel to the fire even more.
Yeah, let me just show some of these tweets. Preseason is ultimately seeing who got fat, who went bald, and players have delivered. Then you got
the ball shamming going on here is unreal, man. Wow.
Yeah. Arsenal
Wow.
have now conceded 3 goals from corners and taken in 2 preseason games.
Oh my
God!
God!
You got Gunnar Express's tweet. Go check out Gunnar Express's channel. He put up the goal.
Igal. I'm gonna send you a tweet. Please share this. This is hilarious. Oh my God! So you know how Spurs drew their game, right? Their game was for a trophy, so they shared the trophy with Leyton Orient, bro.
Oh
yes,
my goodness.
They were.
Oh my God!
Boy, what's the DVD come out for that, man?
That's actually so funny. Yeah, they're gonna make keychains, bro. Make some more keychains. Oh my God!
All or nothing, half of something.
Isn't that the club that Harry Kane sponsors or something?
Oh,
is it?
No wonder they couldn't even beat them.
No. And you know what's so funny? Yeah, we can be like shit, but then Spurs are just there. Spurs are just there to just like make a
facts. We're melting down, but Spurs are like we could be the worst team in the world, but Spurs will always be that little bit worse. It's so brilliant.
It's like we're coming near them, and then they do something that just surprises me. You're like, you know what? I'm gonna humble myself.
Never forget the Audi Cup.
Oh, that was so funny.
And you know that cup, yeah, I can just buy it.
Everyone who banters us for preseason, remember, these guys celebrated like they won the Champions League. The way he lifted that, and everyone's cheering.
Remember, what's his name? One of the players did like a whole, status on his Instagram, saying having that feeling of winning my first trophy. I can't wait to win more. And I'm like,
Lucas Moura, yeah.
Him, yeah. It's to the point where like you feel terrible, but then they just do things to make it easier to just banter them.
It's just levels.
They're just a meme club. Let's be honest.
What made me laugh, right? There was an advertisement with Son in it, and I think it was for like some like fragrance or something. But he said in the advert, you should only aim for success. And I was just laughing. I'm like, you literally signed a new deal at Tottenham Hotspur, and you're saying you should aim for success. Like what? I don't get it. The Spurs are just so like, oh my god.
Yeah, look. By fans' logic, Bayern are going to be awful because they're losing in preseason. That's true, you know.
This is what I'm saying, man. The thing is,
I didn't know Bayern lost to Cologne 2-1.
Dortmund is getting relegated according to that logic.
I
Dortmund
think
is
the
getting
game's still on
relegated.
though.
No, wait, no. Nketia. It wasn't Dortmund. It was Dortmund 2, a team in the 4th division of German football, bro. Bochum are in the Bundesliga as well, so it's not embarrassing at all. It's literally their under 23 team.
You know, can I say something real quick? Yeah, I'm so sorry for
Lacazette
interrupting.
and Aubameyang leading the pre-match talk.
Yeah.
Can I say
Why
something real
does
quickly?
this look like Samuel when he was younger? It is. Yeah.
Samuel just getting violated, bro, but he's not even here.
Yeah. I don't think there's any more tweets that are worth looking at. Willian stuff. That made no sense. The biggest comeback. What Willian
Yeah, 'cause
turns
he
up
lost
fat.
because, how his first game was, and then apparently he lost weight or whatever.
He's just pregnant.
Guys,
That's all it is.
what
He
were
gave
they
birth to his
doing on
baby.
this set piece? Why are 4 players defending themselves?
Honestly,
I wanted to bring this up. Yeah, on the second goal, I blame Bellerin because Tierney.
Bellerin didn't cover.
Bellerin was supposed to go in for the header. The guy who scored was, I think, Itten. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Bellerin was meant to be covering Itten, right? Tierney realizes Bellerin isn't covering him, so Tierney has to back up, and he can't jump high enough, so he misses the header. Bellerin's literally stood behind them watching what's going on when he's meant to be covering the player that scored. That guy is so useless. It's unbelievable. I can't wait to see the back of that guy. He stood and watched the guy score, bro. Like,
And that wasn't his
what are
first
you
time.
doing?
That was like last week too.
Yeah, exactly. He does it every game. Like, every game, he never goes in for a header. He's so.
Yo, how does Daily 8C have the rights to show the game on Twitter?
I didn't even know they could.
They're probably partnered with a club, bro.
Some of these people tweet out the game. I can't show the highlights of the game, guys. Come on.
Nah, if you want the highlights, go follow Arsenal Presser on Twitter and Twitch. He streams all the games on his Twitch.
You know what was the biggest positive of today?
Yo, can't he get shut down for that?
Probably,
Yes.
but he hasn't been yet.
Yeah,
so.
you can.
He's still going strong, bro. He's still going strong.
You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah,
We will.
You know what was the biggest positive of today's game? It was the fact that we created so many chances.
Yeah,
Unlike
facts,
last
facts,
season,
facts.
you remember last season we went through that drought? That was awful. And just the fact that we're capable of creating chances, that's just awesome to me. But we do need to clean up on the finishing. But just the amount of chances we created was just amazing, bro. Pepe was turning up. Emil Smith looked amazing. Tavares looked great. Aubameyang's off the ball movement was great. His finishing was awful. But, man, I don't know. It just makes me happy that we could create chances.
To be honest, it reminded me of last season. We had chances, we didn't score them. Same story.
Yeah, that's the only biggest worry. That if we fix that up, I think we'll be okay for a bit.
Well, yeah, that's the worrying thing going into this season is Aubameyang's not hitting his numbers. Like I said, hasn't looked amazing. You know, Balogun's looked all right, but obviously hasn't scored yet. Martinelli's still away. I mean, Martinelli's bagging. Apparently, he came on in the 77th minute the other day, scored a goal and got 2 assists.
Yeah, he led that Brazil team to the win.
I don't care that it's under 21 or I don't even know who they played against yet. But if you're coming on as a 19, 20-year-old for your nation with 13 minutes to go and you're getting a goal and 2 assists, there's something about you in it. Like, you're not just a regular under 21 player. You're a special kid.
You're a goat right there.
Yeah, he already got the same number of goals as Willian from last season.
Oh my God.
I think he's almost there on assists too.
Probably is as well.
He actually scored in the first game as well, right? If you remember that.
Yeah,
tap-in
he
goal.
did. Yeah, that's happened. Yeah. Bit of a jammy goal, like, but we take him.
Yeah. No, that was the most fake dream that they ever sold. Didn't he get like 3 assists and a goal?
It was
Yeah, he
And then-
got 3 in the first game.
Yeah, and then people celebrated like, yes, this is it. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh my Lord, y'all just don't know. I swear people just get in there to get their heart broken.
I mean,
Yo,
to be
did the
fair,
Munich-
he
the
was
Munich
really
match
good in that
end-
game.
Did the Munich match end 3-2?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Let me just check again.
To be fair, though, Willian was really good in that Fulham game. So I see why people got excited. But, I mean, Arsenal fans do this all the time. We overhype players. Like,
Yeah, it did.
overhype
Again,
them.
sorry to interrupt you, Guna. It did.
Nah, sorry.
Yo, the moderators are fighting in the chat. It's actually funny.
Bro,
But yo-
whenever Dizzy's around, bro, they're always fighting.
No, there was one guy who just came out of nowhere and he started saying stuff like Bukayo Saka's lost England the Euros. And
Oh,
then
yeah,
he got blocked.
I was scrapping him, bro. I'm not having that slander on my goat.
Yo, questioning you guys. If today we would have had Saka in the preseason over Balogun, do you guys think we would have scored more?
Yeah.
No, not over Balogun. If we had Saka on the right, Pepe on the left, Balogun up top, yes.
Even if we had Gabby at the front, he would have scored those goals.
Let me ask you guys this though. When it comes to Eddie Nketiah, did he increase his value today, or is he still no one's gonna buy him?
Every goal he scores from here on forward
that was
increases
a nice
his value.
goal as well. That was a nice goal.
Yeah.
You know what I say? I say it increases his value, but if someone comes in with any value, take him.
Yeah.
You don't need to, you don't need
I'm
to-
not sure about the value part. What it's definitely done, it will just have people sniffing. It will just remind people that he's there. And this is what I was kind of saying for these past few days. You know, like, it's going to be tough. It is going to mean that we're going to go into pre-season games either bringing on players we know that aren't good enough or starting players that aren't good enough. We've now got 4 more games to try and show someone that Kolasinac is worth taking from us. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is worth taking from us. You know, William is worth taking from us.
Or
We
just take
can't
the
go
hit.
into next season with some of these players, and I would rather lose. I'd rather have egg on my face for a few pre-season games if it means moving on some of these players. That's just my reality. That I
But I
live in.
think what they need to like analyze, if you know that there's some players that no one's really an offer is gonna come for them, just take the hit and just pay them off. I know that's gonna be a bit difficult, because I know there's like a bit of compensation because some of the players are like, oh, first of all, if there's no club coming for me and I still have a contract here, I still have to play. But then you just gotta assess that most of the players were like, okay, I think we can get a couple of mil for him. We're not going to get something for him. So just kind of pay out their contract because we can't really afford to be going in the same season with those players because either way, they're not good enough to be even getting minutes or even kind of sitting on the bench.
No, but the thing is, but the thing is, they're not like, it's not like an Ozil problem. If we can't sell them now, we can try to sell them in January. Why do we want to pay them off and waste more money when we already want to save money and get in more transfers? We are not anyways getting transfers. Why will we try to pay off a Willian with around 20 odd million, 15 to 20 odd million? Why will we waste money now?
I'm not talking about William. I'm talking about like what's called like Eddie, Nketiah, like those type of players. Because I think what most people are saying on Twitter is because we have enough money, we just don't have enough spaces for the new players to come in. So I'm saying, are you really going to go into the season having the same problem we had last season? It's either take the hit and sign in new players so we can kind of have a good start to the first season and have a kickoff rather than having those players saying, oh, I want to play, I want to get minutes. It's just too much drama and we can't really afford that in any shape or form.
We can drop off Kolasinac at the gym and forget about him and bring him back in the League Cup.
Guys, this has been absolutely great. I just want to talk us through the goals quickly. Tavares' goal, I thought it was good. I thought everyone already spoke about that, so that was great. The set pieces were ridiculous. We constantly concede through set pieces. We need to sort that out. Eddie Nketiah's goal, quick little feet, got in front of the goal, got in front of the defender, stole the ball off him, shot first time. I like that. I need to see more from him doing that. And overall performance, I think if I was going to give this performance a grade, I would have said I would have given I have to give it a bad grade, because at times I found myself frustrated, but at times I also found myself entertained. If this was I was a neutral, I would be entertained. But I don't want to be entertained. I want to just be winning this game convincingly. I don't give a shit how entertaining the game is. If we lose or draw, even if it's preseason, it's not a good game. So I'm gonna say overall, I'll give it a 5. I'll give it barely a pass, because we did end up getting the draw eventually. Lisa, what are you giving out of 10 to game? We're not rating each player.
I think the game for me is like a 4.5. There wasn't really like too much of a flow. I think the flow would last for like a couple minutes. It just it was. I'm just hoping that's not how we would play at the start of the season. It was just kind of more like, okay, we're getting our fitness up. I'm seeing improvement, but that's basically it. Like, it didn't look like a professional type of a football match, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Gunnar Express rating.
Yeah, it's kind of. I don't really like rating preseason games. I know that I'm quite, I'm someone who wants us to win them all, but we were definitely better than Hibs, and I gave Hibs like a 3 because we were bad, but we weren't. All the players weren't bad, so I'd probably give this game kind of with Lisa a 4.5, maybe a 5. Again, you take away the performances of your Willians, your Kolasinacs, these players we know aren't good enough, and you just look at the players we want to look at, your Smith Rowes, Balogans, Pepes. They were all good today. None of those players were bad. The only player for me that we expect to be good that wasn't was Aubameyang, and that's it. So everybody else for me who I expected to play well did. I thought Okonkwo, someone else who needs to be given a bit more praise today. He got a lot of stick in that game against Hibs. He played well today. I know he conceded, but you can't blame him. That was shocking defending, and his kicking, his distribution looks really good. And I really want him to combine with Leno in a sense that, can we have Okonkwo's kicking and Leno's shot stopping, like as just one goalkeeper, because his kicking's brilliant. But yeah, probably a 5 today, if anything, just average performance really.
All right. Next, then I'm gonna go to you, Nitish. What are you saying?
I'll probably give it a 5.5 or a 6. I'm happy with the performance. Our players played way better football than them. Unfortunately, our defensive set pieces are very bad. 2 goals. We did not concede anything from open play. Both goals were conceded from set pieces. Our finishing was bad. So these are 2 areas that need to be improved. But I am not going to take anything away from the performance. We played good football. We were pressing very hard. We showed a lot of energy. Last game, we were absolutely crap. I wouldn't even give them a 3. Gunnar Express is probably being generous for the last game. But the thing with this game is, this game, I think we did everything right, apart from 2 things. 1, defending our set pieces, and 2, finishing off our chances. There may be 1 or 2 players that you can say don't even deserve maybe a 3, even in this game. Like, I think I wouldn't give Aubameyang a 3 for this game. I wouldn't probably be happy. Maybe I would give somewhere between a 3 or a 4 to the likes of Balogun. So there are particular players like Bellerin again, wouldn't probably even give him a 3. There are particular players who are very bad and who have made this good performance look very bad. And that is the problem with Arsenal, those mistakes and those errors. If those are removed, our overall performances will always be maybe a 5 or a 6 at least.
Okay, people, like the video. Let's try to get this video to at least 100 likes. There's 150 people here before we get the final analyzation from Willie. Willie, what are you saying?
I would say I'd give him a solid 6, realistically. So the biggest thing for me that made me happy the most was the fact that we created a lot of chances. We did not finish our chances, which is the biggest negative there. But overall, the ball movement was there. You could kind of sense the tactics that Arteta wants to go with. Obviously, set pieces were the biggest flaw here, but let's be honest with ourselves. Even towards the end of Arsene Wenger's reign, we saw that set pieces was always an issue for us. For the second goal, we were playing Kolasinac as a center back, and that itself should have spoken volumes. I even said it. I was like, hey, I think we're going to concede in a set piece because Kolasinac isn't the tallest. He's not the highest jumper. But with my rating, I just feel like you said there was sparks where I was excited, but there was also sparks where I was just like, what the heck's going on, like getting frustrated. But I just think it was a major improvement from the last game, and that's what pleases me itself, you know? I feel if we get a right back in, a midfielder in, I feel like we'd be happy.
There you go. Yo, people, we're 2 likes away from getting to 70 likes. Let's try to get this at least to past 70 likes before we wrap up. I'm out of here, guys. Lisa, Gunnar Express, Nitish, tell the people where they can catch you.
Who's going
Hello?
first?
Plug your Twitters, people. Come on.
All right. Y'all can follow me at WillyAM1800 on Twitter. That's where you can find me.
There you go. Nitish?
You guys, thanks for having me on, and you guys can find me on Beyond the Post _ it is like Beyond the Post, the entire thing, and then _ at the end on Twitter. But who the hell said that Aubameyang for Tammy Abraham we should swap?
Gunnar Express?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, the Gunnar Express. I'm very close to 400 subs. I think I'm about 3 away. So if you could hit that, that'd be awesome. And as well, make sure to subscribe to Igal and the Tish and all the guys. And you can also find me on Twitter at Gunnar Express _ But like the stream, people, because there's over 100 people in here, and we've got about 30 likes, I think. That ain't good enough, man. So smash. Oh, 70 likes. Sorry, but smash these up. Get 100 likes. There's 100 people in the chat. 100 likes.
I put Gunnar Express's channel in the message, so you guys can go follow him. Lisa, what about you? Where can people catch you?
So my Twitter is my last name Loire and then Lisa and just one, and yeah.
There you go. And I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day, and we'll be back on Monday with more content. Anyways, peace out, ladies and gentlemen. We're out of here.
Thank you for having us.